Hmm. Okay, so good morning.
Morning po.
So our last topic for this SEM is yung normal distribution. Start na ako. So yung normal distribution, it is described as the function of a curve that is unimodal, symmetrical, asymptotic to the y-axis and bell-shape. Ano ba yung mga yon? Stable of internet. Okay, pag sinabi natin unimodal, ibig sabihin, yung curve niya is meron lang siyang one peak. Kasi pag merong iba't ibang klase kasi ng curve, merong mga bimodal, polymodal. Pag sinabi natin bimodal, yung peak niya, etong part na to, isa lang siya. Yan. Yung parang nag-rise. So, yun yung sinasabi nating unimodal. So, sa bell curve, yung bell curve naman, it shapes like a bell. Symmetrical, ibig sabihin, almost but not quite. Pag sinabi natin symmetrical kasi, symmetrical is same ang area for both sides nung mean papunta sa left side and sa right side. So mapapansin nyo kapag naglagay ako ng line sa mean, same ang shape ng left and right. But hindi particularly pasok dito ang symmetrical. And asymptotic to the y-axis, meaning yung tip niya o yung inflection point niya is somehow touching the y-axis. So sa normal distribution, ang normal distribution is ang expected value niya o yung kanyang magiging expected value o yung inaasahan mong value coming from the mean. Yan, siya yung pinaka-peak. And yung variance is same as, ang variance niya is yung standard deviation squared. Ibig sabihin, yung same lang ng formula na ginagamit natin for variance. Yung inflection point at which yung bell curve will turn. Pag sinabi natin kasi inflection point, ito yung point na kung saan nagkakaroon ng changes or nagkakaroon ng slope dun sa bell curve. So ang inflection point daw is at point mean minus inflection point is mean minus the standard deviation, itong part na to. So at this point, nagkaroon na ng slope dito sa part na to. Yan. Total area of the curve between the curve and the y-axis is equal to 1. So yung sa standard deviation, sa standard normal distribution, ang maximum natin is 1 or 100%. Ang total area daw between the curve and the y-axis equal to 1. So ito part na to. Yan yung shaded part. Yan yung 100%. And more than 99% of the area between the mean, itong part na to, yung point na to, tsaka yung point dito sa kabila are composed of 99% of the area or 99.99 ng area. So that's how we describe the normal curve. So usually, ang goal ng mga statistician is to somehow compare their data as if it is normal. So kaya ang ginagawa nila, nagkakaroon sila ng mga test minsan to check the normality of the data. Kailangan kasi ang normal is for you to have a standard data or for you to have a good data must be your data must be in in the shape of a bell curve or pasok siya sa normal distribution. Okay, for example, this one, meron siya ditong sample na heights in a sample of 100 women. So mapapansin niyo dyan, halos ang data niya is ranges from 60 to 70. So dito pa lang, as you can see in this data, it is already a bell curve. Why? Because yung data mo is hindi sila nagkakalayo between dun sa ranges mo. Magkakaroon ka lang ng doubt if sakali nagkaroon ng halimbawa ng 41, ng isang 41 or nagkaroon ng 100, which is we consider this as outliers. So dito pala magdududa ka na, pasok ba siya sa normal curve or sa normal distribution? So if you graph this data, this particular data, ito ang kanyang summary o yung kanyang graph. So mapapansin niyo dyan na halos it portrays a bell curve. Okay. So for that example, in the data kanina, in the sample of women's height given above, the sample average mean is 65.2. If you try to get the mean of this one, you add all this data and then you divide by the number of the items or the n, you will get 65.2 and the sample variance is 4.392, which is the traditional way of solving the variance, the summation of the mean minus the y over n. So yun, that's how you get the sample variance. Thus, the sample might be from a population that can be modeled by a normal distribution. So expected value natin is the y and the variance is 4.392. We write it in 65.2, 4.392. That's how you will get your data. Sa mga titingin sa graph, ma'am, later on, you will see that ito ang ginagamit natin value, which is denoted by n, mean, and the variance. So, ganyan yung format. N is mean variance. Probabilities related to continuous random variables are represented by areas. Calculus, in particular, numerical integration is necessary to find the areas of the various section under the normal curve. So we use tables, however, have been derived for the normal distribution, that is n is 0 and 1, called the standard deviation. Ano ba to? Ano ba yung N01? Pag N01, we try to compare all of the datas into N01, meaning the bell curve is, we assume that all of the data have a mean of 0 and the standard, the variance, however, is 1. So yun yung sinasabi ng data na to. So itong data na to kanina na N65, 4.392 will be transformed into a standard normal distribution where N is 0 or where the mean is 0 and the variance is 1. So ang tawag natin doon is the standard normal distribution. These tables can be used to find areas of the section under the normal curve by means of standardization process. We try to standardize itong format na to into a N01. So by using this formula, Yung Z represented the standard normal distribution, this one. Y is yung data natin, particularly Y, where yung kung saan mo paggagayahan, and then minus the mean over the standard deviation. So hindi ito So I repeat, hindi variance ang gagamitin mo dito. So you will use standard deviation. And how do we get the standard deviation? Standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So kung yung variance mo dito na value, i-square root mo lang siya, you will get the standard deviation. Okay, so skip ko muna to. For us to understand this problem, we will go on with our table. Which later on, i-upload ko din siya sa ating Google Classroom. Okay, so we have here the standard normal distribution where our mean is 0 and the variance is 1. So we assume that the area here is 100% or 1. Values A or yung alpha natin in the body of the table are the probability that Z is greater than the positive value ZA given in the margin. So for example, we have the probability that C is greater than 1.54 is equals to 0.062. So we assume or we said that Z.062 is equal to 1.54. So yung sa table, the value in the table is 1.54. For negative value Z, the probability of the greater value can be found using the symmetry later on i-explain natin natin. For the negative values, the probability of the greater can be found using the symmetry of the distribution. So balik tayo sa taas kanina. Ano ba yung 1.54 na yun? So yung Z natin na nakuha, kung tayo ay kumuha ng nakuha na natin na value ay nung ginawa natin siyang into a standardized value, we get a value of 1.54. Sa table, nung chinek natin, ang value ng 1.54 natin sa table. Ang 1.54 is 0.062. So yung nakuha natin na 0.062 sa bell curve, ito lang yung portion na yun. Or we can say that 0.062 is 6.2% of the total area of the bell curve. Mapapansin niyo naman kapag tama kayo or mali is dun sa percentage na lumabas. Medyo alanganin kayo. Dito mapapansin niyo na Z is greater than 1.54. We assume that 1.54 is here. 1.54. So, yung area na lang natitira is napakaliit. So we can say that it is only 6.2% Magtaka kayo kung yung 0.54 ay yung 1.54 ang lumabas is halimbawa 97.3. Pero mapapansin nyo dyan na sa graph, nung green up nyo, ang location ng 1.54 greater than Z is maliit na portion, tapos ang lumabas is 97.3 halimbawa. Diyan na kayo magtaka kasi hindi yan yung tamang sagot kasi portion lang yung nakuha mo, pero ang lumabas na percentage is malaki. So maybe ang tinutukoy na 97.3 is not this one, but the other way around. Itong part na to. So diyan malalaman kung mali yung inyong sagot pag kayo ay nag-graph. Okay. For negative values, the probability of greater value can be found using the symmetry of the distribution. For example, this one. Yung x natin, yung x natin must be greater than 1.54. If we try to graph that one, kung ito yung 0, ang location ng 1.54 na negative will be here. So negative ang value, negative 1.54, ang tinutukoy niya is greater than x, this one. So ang tinutukoy niya na area, kung greater than, is ito. So ang ina-expect natin na value is a higher percentage value kasi ito yung tinutukoy niya, yung much bigger area. Now, remember kanina na yung lumabas sa atin for 1.54 sa table is 0.062. So, ibig sabihin, yung 0.062 na yan is, dito yan nakalocate, di ba? Yung 1.54 na yan. Itong part na to. Yung 0.62. Pero, ang tinutukoy natin dyan, kung negative value, symmetrical value daw yun, yung part na yun. So, yung negative value na aspect nito na 1.54, yung tinutukoy naman dito is itong part na to. Gawin natin to. Etong part na ito, symmetrical value eh. So ito na yung 0.062. Since ito, yung part na yon, ang tinutukoy natin is greater than 1.54, ito na yung tinutukoy natin. So, kung 1 ang total na area niya, minus 0.062, then ang sagot is 0.938, which is etong part na ang tinutukoy niya kasi greater than na. Okay? Kuha nyo ba yun?
Papa, sir.
Okay, so sa mga hindi, balik tayo dun sa problem natin. Okay, for example, this one, PY4 is if distributed as N5, or mali to, and this is not PY, rather than it is PY is equals to 4. PY is equals to 4 if Y is distributed as N5.64. So ito is hindi pa naka-format as standard normal distribution. So we will be standardizing this data, yung normal natin, na normal distribution natin na 5.64. So paano? Okay. And so, yung formula natin is Z is equals to Y minus the mean over the standard deviation. So, we have 4 minus 5 over the square root of 0.64 dahil variance yan. What would be our value? What would be our value for this one?
Negative 1.25.
Negative 1.25. Sandali ah. Negative, teka, wait lang. Mayroon akong babaguhin na sa data. Okay, so ito pala ay chinek ko sa book. Yan. So ang sagot is negative 1 point. Ano, aliyan? 1 point.
25 po.
1.95.
25 po, sir.
25. Negative 1.25. So yung position niya, sa normal distribution is, kung ito yung sa standard normal distribution, somewhere here, 1.25 negative. So titingnan natin sa table, ano yung value no 1.25. Ano pala ang tinutukoy natin na part? Kung y is greater than 4, or sorry, less than 4, ano yung tinutukoy natin na part na yon? So ang tinutukoy natin dito is less than 4 is itong part na ito. So ito kasi from normal distribution, ito yung dating 5, ito yung mean, and then yung 4 is located here. So 4, 5. So ito yung part na tinutukoy natin less than y, ito yung hinahanap natin na area. So ano yung area na negative 1.25? Tingnan natin sa table. Okay, sa table, yung negative 1.25 is 1.2. Ito pala, 1.2. Napin natin yung 5.05. 1.2 tsaka 1.05 is resulting to 0.106. So 0.106 yung ating value. So balik tayo sa problem. So yung standard normal distribution is ito yung negative 1.25. Ito yung ating 0. Ang result daw nun is itong area na to ay 0.106. So, ayun na ba yung magiging sagot natin, yung 0.106? So, 1.25 kasi kanina, kung nandito yon, yung area na doon na tinutukoy niya na 1.06 is ito. Since negative value, symmetrical value ang tinutukoy natin, kaya yung negative 1.25, ito yung maliit na portion na tinutukoy natin dyan. So, ang sagot dito is 0.106 or 10.6%. How about yung number 2? Number 2 is yung y daw natin is greater than 10. Greater than 10 but less than 13. So we will try to standardize muna itong part na to. So yung Z1 natin is yung gagamitin muna natin is yung 10. So 10 minus 12, that is the mean over the square root of 4. Anong ba ang sagot niya? So 10 minus 2 is 10 minus 12 is 2, negative 2 over 2 is negative 1. For Z2, ang gagamitin naman natin is yung 13. So 13 minus 12 over square root of 4, which is 1 over 2 or 1/2. So sa standard normal distribution, ang naging value niya na is negative 1 is greater than y, but less than 0.5. So ang titingnan natin sa table is yung value ng negative 1 and 0.5. Let me check. Ang value ng negative 1 or 1 is 0.159. And then yung 0.5 is 0.291. So kung titingnan natin sa bell curve yan, ano yung position na negative 1? So siguro yung negative 1 is here and then 0.5 is here. So yung negative 1, sa positive 1 ang chinek natin sa table, yung positive 1 is nandito. Ang area daw na yon is 0.159. And then yung 0.5, ito, is 291 point. So, since symmetrical yung 159 na yon, kung titingnan natin siya dito sa table, sa negative, ito na yung 0.159. 1, 0, 0.5. And then yung 291 is ito pa rin. Now, ang tinutukoy natin dyan is the area between negative 1 and 0.5. Kasi less than 10 but greater than Greater than 10 but less than 13. So ang tinutukoy natin dyan is itong area na to. Yan. So paano natin makukuha yung area na yon given this value, negative 1 and 0.291? The first thing you are going to do is to get this value, yung kabilang part. Ito yung part na yon, kukunin natin yung kabilang value. So, paano natin makuha yon? 1 minus 0.159 is how much? 0.841. Tama ba? 0.841. Then, yung 0.841 na yon, ang tinutukoy na natin doon, kung ito ang bell curve, negative 1, 0, 0.5. Ang tinutukoy na natin na area is this one. Yan na yung 0.841. Now, balik tayo dun sa value ng 291. Ano yung 291? Ito naman yon, yung part na yon. So, paano natin makukuha yung desired na value natin na in between negative 1 and 0.5? Itong part na to. Paano natin siya makukuha? Yan. So, makikita nyo yung red from negative 1 hanggang dulo. Yung 0.5 is from 0.5 up to dulo. Pero ang kailangan natin is yung in between negative 1 and 0.5. So paano natin makukuha yung value na yon? Yung kulay green na portion. Using the data 841 and 291. Paano natin makukuha yung value na yon? Sige nga, just by analyzing this graph, paano natin makukuha yung area na green?
Yung 841 po ay ma-minus sa 291.
Yes, very good. So yung 841, 0.841, sasubtract natin siya sa 291 para mawala yung part na blue. Ano sagot? .5 nga ba? 5. Ang sagot dyan?
0.55 po.
5. Okay. So, yung 0.55, yun na yung green na value. Nakukuha nyo ba to yung pag-solve natin? So, meron bang impact yung ating ano dito, yung ating mathematical symbol natin na greater than and less than? Yes, kasi doon natin malalaman kung ano yung direction niya sa bell curve. Okay? Let's try an example. But this time, yung example natin is hindi na siya nakabase. Hindi na tayo magko-convert from normal distribution to standard normal distribution. Yung problem is already in the normal, standard normal distribution. So ano daw yon? So gawa tayo ulit ng bell curve. So ito yung ito yung 0 natin, yung gitna. Ito yung negative 1 and ito yung 2. So ang sinasabi dyan is z is greater than or equal to 1, negative 1, but less than or equal to positive 2. So, anong tinutukoy na area? Ang tinutukoy niya na area ay itong portion na to. Yan. So, check natin yung value ng negative 1 and positive 2. Okay. So, balik tayo sa table. Negative 1 and positive 2. So, wala tayong makukuha negative 1 dito. Instead, we are looking for positive 1, which is ang value is 0.159. And then, yung 2 natin na 0.023. So, nakatapat kasi siya sa 0. Ibig sabihin, 2.0 lang siya. So, 0.023 and 0.159. So, tandaan natin yung value. Okay, going back sa ating presentation. Okay, so yung tinutukoy natin kanina, ang value ng positive 1 is 0.159. Asan yung 0.159 na yon? Positive 1. 159 na yon is dito. Yung positive 2 naman, ang value niya is 0.023. So, ito number niya. Now, symmetrical value, yung positive 1 natin, it will reflect to the area ng negative 1, but dito siya. 0.159. So, nireflect ko lang yung area sa kabilang side, symmetrical in aspect. So, bulahin na natin to. Ay. Okay. Now, ano yung tinutukoy natin naman na area? Ang tinutukoy natin naman na area is not here and not here, but itong kulay green. That is in between negative 1 and positive 2. How do we get that? There are two ways to get that. Yung una yung kanina, i-reflect natin to on the right side, then subtract dun sa 0.023. And also, we can get that by, ano pa yung ibang paraan? Analyze nyo nga yung data, ay yung graph natin. We have pink, green, and blue. Anong pwede natin gawin? Yung probability natin,
Yung pink at blue po, ipagpa-plus bago po ima-minus sa 1.
minus natin sa ito natin ima-minus. Tama yun. Ipa-plus natin itong dalawa, pero ima-minus natin siya saan? Ma-minus natin siya sa 1 because the whole area is 100%. So 1 minus 0.159 plus 0.23. And what's the value? What is the value?
Zero 0.818 po.
0.818. Okay. Okay, nakuha nyo ba yon? Pwede din yung kaninang ginawa natin by transforming itong part na to into sa kabilang side. So 0.159 is 841. 0.841. Yung 0.841 na yon, isa-subtract na natin siya sa 0.023, which is equal also to 0.81. So ito yung first method, ito yung second method. So mas madali siya. Okay, letter D is negative 3.02 to. 3.02 is, so yung Z natin is greater than negative 3.02 but less than 0. So ano yung tinutukoy naman natin na area? So ito yung 0 natin, maybe dito yung 3.02 na negative. Ang tinutukoy naman natin na area is here. So, paano natin makukuha yung area na yon? Kunin muna natin yung value ng 3.02 and 0. Saan ko natin tingin? .02 is 0.001. And 0 is, ang value niya is 0.5. Tama. Not sure, pero 0.5 alam ko. 0.5. So, yung 0 natin is, ang area naman na covered niya is 0.5. So, kalahati kasi nasa 0 nga siya. So, 50% ng area. So, we have 0.001 and 0.05. Analyze muna natin. Nasaan yung 0.001 and nasaan yung 0.5. So, yung 0.001 is, yung 3.02 is somewhere here. So, ito yung area na tinutukoy niyan. Since symmetrical value, pag negative, yung 0.001 na tinutukoy naman sa kabila is itong part na to. Maliit na portion ng area. So, this is 0.01. Okay, nasa naman yung 0.05. 0.5. Nasa naman yung portion na yan. Yung 0.5 naman is ito. So, ito ang ating 0.5 for the 0. So, how do we get this, yung area na to? That is greater than 3.02 negative but less than 0. Paano naman natin siya makukuha? Ganun uli, 1 minus the sum of this portion and this portion. So 0.5 plus 0.001. Okay, what is the value? 0.499. Tama ba?
Apo, sir.
Okay, so 0.499. Okay, question dun sa dalawa. Yung z is greater than or equal to -1 but less than or equal to 2. Kasi letter D natin na z is greater than -3.02 but less than 0. So may question ba kayo sa dalawang yan bago tayo pumunta sa E and F? May question?
Wala na po, sir.
So delete lang natin. Okay, punta tayo dito sa E and F. So E and F is the absolute value naman daw ng Z is greater than 1. So ano yung tinutukoy naman sa absolute value ng Z? Okay, we try to draw the graph first. So ito yung 0. Ito yung 1. Ito yung -1. So anong tinutukoy naman sa value na yan? So sabi niya is absolute value ng Z is greater than 1. So ang area na tinutukoy naman dito is ito, greater than 1, and absolute value of C which is greater than 1. -1. So ang tinutukoy is hindi itong portion na to that is greater than 1. Hindi po ito kung negative value. Yan, hindi yan. But rather, yung kabilang portion. Pag ito ay negative. So ano ang ini-imply ng problem na yan? That the value Z o yung P natin is only twice na kung ano yung makukuha natin na value for -1 and +1. Kasi pares naman sila ng result. Which is, anong value ng 1 sa standard normal? That is 0.15. 0.159. So twice lang yan, that is ang sagot 0.3
0.318 po.
0.318. Same goes with absolute value ng 2. So kung ito naman is gagawin mo 2, hanapin mo lang yung value ng 2. Which is, anong value ng 2 sa table? .023. Which is equal to 0.046.
0.058.
Price lang. Ng 0.023. So 0.046. Okay? Question? Question dito.
Wala na po, sir.
Sir, paano mo malalaman kung yung value is in normal distribution or in standard normal distribution? Ang first clue na makikita nyo, yung pinakamadali is that the value is in Z or the variable is in Z, meaning that the problem is already in standard normal. Pero kapag meron naman kayo nakita na value na instead of Z, naging Y siya, at meron siyang kadugtong na format ng N, mean, variance, Meaning that it is in normal distribution pa lang. So, yan yung palatandaan natin. So, standard normal kapag Z and Y, and then meron siya format na N, mean variance for a normal distribution. So, kapag nandito pa siya sa normal distribution, pwede mo pa i-convert mo muna siya papuntang standard norm. And then you can interpret there from the standard norm. Yun lang. Question? Okay, wala na, then we will proceed with a problem here. So assume an ecologist is studying the lungs of wild rabbit for possible contamination from a local power station. He has to build a trap to catch the rabbit, and he wants to make the door wide open to catch a good percentage of them. Assume he knows that the mean of width of rabbit shoulders is 3.8 inches with a variance of 0.36 square inch. If he makes the door 5 inches wide, what percentage of rabbit will be able to go through the door? That is, P is Y, which is less than 5. So, ang tinatanong niya, yung width ng rabbit, kung halimbawa ito yung ating gate, yung rabbit dito is, mag-draw. Yan. Yung shoulder daw na rabbit is 3.8 ang mean. So ang gate niya is ginawa niyang 5. So tinatanong niya ilang rabbit kaya ang or how many percentage of rabbit will be able to go to the gate of 5 inches in width. So kung ilang percentage daw ng rabbit na may average na 3.8 ang kanyang shoulder width. So para makuha natin yon, kailangan muna natin siyang ipasok sa normal standard normal distribution. So by the way, so for standard normal distribution, that is y minus the mean over the standard deviation. So 5 minus 3.8 over 0.6. Saan ang galing yung 0.6? In square root yung 0.36. So 0.6, 5 minus 3.8 over 0.6 is positive 2. So ang tinutukoy niya dito, kung ito yung standard normal distribution, ang tinutukoy niya is less than 5 or less than 2. So itong portion na to ang tinutukoy niya. Anong percentage daw to ang makakapasok sa gate? So the door is 2 standard deviation wider than the mean of the rabbit shoulders. Using the table, he finds that yung positive 2, ang value niya is 0.023. So, sinubtract niya 1 minus 0.023 is equal to 97.977. So, ibig sabihin that yung area na to na tinutukoy niya is 97.7%. And what does that mean? This means that the area under the standard normal curve to the left of 2.0 is 0.977. Wait lang ah. Hello po. Sige po, punta na po ako. So, ibig sabihin that yung normal distribution is 97.7% ang pwedeng makapasok na rabbit. So it also means that in the normal distribution, 3.8.36, 97.7 of that area under the curve is to the left of 5, so that 97.7 of the wild rabbit will fit through the door. Another implication na mataas talaga yung makukuha mong probability dito is that 3.8 yung width ng rabbit and 5 yung nilagay mong gate. So it means na talagang marami makakapasok kasi maliit lang yung width ng rabbit kumpara doon sa ginawa mong gate. So yun lang. Question? Naintindihan niyo ba yung problem?
Opo, sir.
Okay. So kung wala na kayong question, may question ba tayo? Okay, that's the end of my presentation about normal distribution. Yung table na pinapakita natin kanina, ito, I will upload it sa Google. Okay, so I will also give some problems if you want to. Hindi ko siya gigradean, but you can practice it para malaman nyo kung ano yung mga sagot. Okay ba yun? Magbibigay lang ako ng mga set of problems para gawin nyo. Not grade it if you want para meron lang kayong ma-practice about normal distribution. Okay? So that's the end of our topic for statistics. You have any more question?
Sir,
Yes.
tanong ko lang po yung sa may quiz po namin. Meron po kasi doon yung sa may at least 2 decimal places po. Nung tinignan po namin kasi yung score namin, nakalagay po doon dot over 10 po.
Okay, sige. Check ko na lang. Baka hindi nag-reflect. Pero nilagyan ko na yun ng score. Eh. Okay, pwede.
So sir, ano po? Yung
Sige.
ano po ba? Yung sa may null hypothesis po, kapag mali po ba yung sa may sentence, mali din po ba yung sa may reject or accept?
Hindi naman. Kasi sa dulo.
Apo. Kasi po, ganun din po yung nakalagay. Parang 0 over 10 po.
Ko na lang din. Check ko na lang din. Okay.
Okay po, sir. Thank you.
Makahingi ng PPT lesson at previous lesson. Okay, sige. Yung mga previous lesson naman na-upload ko na meron na akong hindi na-upload last week. Tsaka yung, hindi, wala pa tayong klase last week. Check ko kung ano yung mga missing. Okay? Upload ko na lang sa Monday. Wala kasi akong data dito sa bahay.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, no more question? Wala. Thank you everyone and see you sa ating final examination. I think last week ng June daw or first week ng July. So, review tayo and then yun. Thank you and bye-bye everyone.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you.